Okay, so it's beginning of the year. This is when people are most motivated. So the beginning of 2019, you're either you know what you're going to want to achieve. So by the end of it, you either are going to get to that place or you're not. Unfortunately, most people don't. Most people have an idea at the beginning of the year where they want to be, and they know the potential that a year brings with the whole 365 days within a year where they can be at the end of the year. So if you want to lose weight, can you lose 2 pounds of body fat in a week? Yes, you can. So within 12 weeks, you can bring your body fat down, take off 24 pounds of body fat. So just imagine what you can do in a year. The potential is there, and as we know, a year can go by quite quickly, and 2019 that might be the case. So we want to get it right, and by the end of 2019, we want to make sure that we have achieved the goals that we have in mind. Okay, so by the end of this video, I want to give you the tools, tips and advice to be able to take away and implement them, so by the end of 2019 you're in a much better place. So let's start off with the first point. Okay, first thing you're going to need to do is find a plan. Now it doesn't have to be so specific. If you're an athlete training for a specific goal, then yes, you'll need to find something that's very tailored to you and tailored to the thing you want to achieve. Now if you just want to get toned, to lose weight and just general fitness, then you don't need a specific plan. The main thing is that you actually have something which is conducive to what you want to do, and then stick with it. Also, you need to have this in mind for when you go out. So if you go into the gym or you're actually going out to train, or whatever it may be, you need to know exactly what it is that you want to achieve that day in that session. What you don't want to do, and I see this a lot of times of people doing this, they know that they want to get fit, so they'll go to the gym. Okay, that's not, that's about 10% of it. Okay, they've achieved going to the gym. But it's really important to know exactly what it is you want to do, and what the outcome is for when you leave. Okay, so you're not floating about in that gym, or if you're out going for a run, you need to know exactly what your goals are, and then you want to measure that to make sure you're actually doing it. So consistency is so important, and having that plan, having the focus, and having consistency is going to be important. So know exactly what it is you want to, what the outcome is. Another tip I can add onto that is finding something you enjoy. Now, this is why I'm such a great advocate for sports, for people who just genuinely want to keep fit. Because when you find something, a sport that you enjoy, it doesn't feel like work. Okay, so there's intrinsic motivation there for you to go and do it. You don't need to, someone doesn't need to help you to do it, or you don't need a push, or you don't need to motivate yourself to go and do it. You just will want to do it. So if you find a sport that keeps you fit, then you're onto it, you're a winner there. However, you might not have something in mind yet that you know of that you can do. But 2019 could be the year that you find that one thing that helps you or to achieve your goals, to get fit. Okay, so go out, explore different activities, and find that thing that you enjoy doing. And if you find that, then that's really great, because then you won't have to push yourself to train and exercise. His next point will be to start creating habits. So we all have habits, not all necessarily good, not necessarily bad, but we have habits nonetheless. So 2019, what we want to start doing at the beginning of it is try to know exactly what those habits are going to be, that will help us to become the best version of ourselves by the end of the year and achieve those goals. So what I'd recommend is make a list of just a few, and let's not too many, of some of the habits you'd like to implement that will help you to get to become healthier. So one of them could be to drink more water during the day. Well, you've got to do the same as if you were trying to get fit. You need to be consistent with it. So you need to have a plan, really. You need to know certain parts of the day you're going to drink this amount of water. Now, it might seem over the top that you need to plan in where you're going to drink, but when you're starting out and you're trying to create routines, you need to be like that. So you need to know that you're actually doing it. And if you're writing it out, you can look back and say, oh, I have been doing, or I have not, and you can start to adjust things, or you can see what happened in the week, and adjust things if there's something that came up and meant you couldn't get the couldn't get what you wanted to get done. So creating these habits are going to be really important, but to begin with, you're not necessarily going to get it all the time. So keeping a log of it will be important, because you'll hopefully start to see progress of consistency. And then once you've spent a while and it doesn't feel like hard work to be able to do that, so one of the things could be, before go to work, you're going to make sure you get that routine, whatever that is that you have in mind, done, and you're going to drink a certain amount of water before breakfast, or whatever it may be, but what we do, we're going to log it down, and we're going to make sure that we're doing it. Okay. So another point that's similar to creating habits is routines. So this will enable you to actually create those habits. So we've got routines in our daily lives, like brushing our teeth in the morning and at the end of the day. What you want to do is create routines that are going to help you to become healthier. So if you want to change your diet, for example, make it a routine. So when you're trying to get healthier, or you're trying to lose weight, we know that we don't necessarily have to eat less. In fact, that's not helpful. We just need to eat more of the right things. So if we can make it, create routines and make it part of our routine where we're eating healthy food, and so we have got a breakfast and that's part of our routine and it's healthy, and we have that as a routine, then it's just going to be a lot easier. You're going to be fuller for the rest of the day if it's breakfast. And it's just going to make things easier once you've got those routines, because humans are creatures of routines, creatures of habit. So getting a routine will actually enable you to have better habits, and maybe I should have put routines before habits in this video, but they're all important, creating these routines and having these habits, and also, like I said before, but having a little journal or something to make sure you're actually doing it, because sometimes we think, we might look back and we might think that we have been doing it, we have been consistent, but in reality we haven't. So just making sure we are consistent with our routines and habits. Okay, so my next point is going to be, if you can, find someone you can train with. Now, personally for myself, because like fitness and health is just something I've always loved, I've always been able to train on my own. In fact, other people ask to train with me, but what I recommend is, if you want to improve your fitness and health and you find it quite difficult, now train with someone else. So if you have found that sport that you're into, it would help if you did go to a class or an event or something, or just found someone to play that particular sport with. But if it's not, and it's going to the gym, and that's not necessarily something you've been doing much of, if you've got someone that you know of who is in good shape, or does a particular things that you'd like to do, why not ask them to join in with them? That will make things a lot easier. You'll find, by being around that person, you'll start to pick things up. Okay, so it's the same as like if you want to learn how to learn how to drive. You have a person, you're with a person who knows how to drive. It just makes things a lot easier than doing it on your own, and that's a thing I found helpful for other people who've joined into my sessions, who necessarily wouldn't have done the things that I've done with them, but because they've joined in with me, they've ended up doing that, whether they liked it or not, but they got good results. Okay, so my last point is going to be to keep it simple. Now, the thing is, when it comes to fitness, exercise, and all the information related to it, there's a lot out there, and if you're new to it or you don't have much knowledge in this area, you're trying to find out as much as you can, and I'd say keep it simple, because it can be simple, right? It's more simple than you think. However, we sometimes associate more complex theories of doing things, more complex concepts of doing things to be better, but that not necessarily the case. Sometimes the more simple things are the most effective. So don't read up too much information on if you're trying to improve your fitness and health, or even when it comes to nutrition and stuff. Just keep things very simple. The best thing I find is if there's an area, again, like fitness is like the area where I do well in, but with Absolute Life Design I'm trying to improve all the areas of my life, and I'm not an expert in many other parts of my life. So what I do is I look at someone who's at a level that I want to be at, and I'll just I try to copy them, essentially. Just copy them and keep it very simple. So it's just like if you wanted to have the perfect chocolate cake, and there was a chef who created the perfect chocolate cake, all you have to do is pick up the ingredients and the method of how he or she does it, and there you go, you should be able to do it. Maybe little practices, a bit of practice, but if you keep things simple, you're more likely to succeed. Okay, so that's all. I hope you found some value in this video, and if you just remind yourself of the points that were covered in this video, so maybe come back to it later, because we can easily forget things. But again, like, this video has been quite concise, but the points here are things that I've seen over like the last decade of people trying to improve their fitness and health, and some succeed and others and not. So again, like, if they seem really simple, they are, but they are effective. So if you found value in this video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, so then I know that you've found some value.